SmackDown was in San Antonio, Texas, and as last night's Raw was the first Raw under the Paul Heyman regime, this is going to be the first SmackDown under the Eric Bischoff regime. So the show highlights of the Fall Skull entering my last match with Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. And Strowman's injured, and they say they're going to hear from Lashley later tonight. So Kevin Owens makes his way to the ring. Kind of boring. It's the Kevin Owens show. Shane McMahon comes out. I immediately want to change the channel. It's like, I do not care anything about Shane McMahon. I'm at the point where whenever he's on my TV, I just want to turn it off. I could care less about Shane McMahon. He brings just the two jobbers, Drew McIntyre, with him, and Elias or whatever. Drew's cutting a promo on Roman Reigns and The Undertaker. I don't care about this. Dolph Ziggler comes out. It's like, oh, this sucks. Shane, Drew, and Dolph, like, are you trying to get people to fall asleep? Daniel Bryan, and Eric Rowan are the next segment. That just took forever for that to end. Oh my god, that segment sucked. I'm so bored. I'm almost going to fall asleep. So Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan are in the back, and they're talking to Kayla Braxton, I believe. And they're asked about Shane's reaction, and Daniel Bryan says Shane's making a lot of bad decisions, but he has to accept it. And he's making their challenges more difficult. He kind of teases Kayla that she doesn't know math, and which is kind of funny. I like Kayla. I think she's actually really good. They show Xavier Woods and Big E backstage in the gorilla position. They are asked about the announcement of the tag team match. It's now a triple threat match, and they don't have time to lose, so it's going to be a triple threat tag team match at Extreme Rules now. You have Daniel Bryan against Big E, and it's been interesting. Daniel Bryan's been losing a lot. It just feels like he's just not a big deal anymore. Ever since he lost his title to Kofi and he was injured and he missed a couple of months of action, it just feels like they don't have much for Daniel Bryan anymore, and it just feels like he's being slotted at a spot that I think most fans wish or believe he is above. But they're going to have him just be a tag team champion with Eric Rowan. And they're going to push Daniel Bryan and Rowan as champs. I don't get the feeling that they're going to give him a big, singles push for the time being because of his injury. Anyway, Daniel Bryan, he pinned Big E to win this match. So to show Kayla Braxton again, who looks great, by the way. She's with R-Truth. And he's asked what happened on Raw, but he doesn't remember. It's kind of boring. I hate the 24/7 title. It sucks. I do not like it. We go backstage to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Alexa says Nikki is going to host a Moment of Bliss, and she wants Nikki to host a show. She said, you beat Bayley and Carmella. You deserve it. Alexa says Nikki will be great, and she's going to kick Nikki out of the nest and is going to let her fly. So it's pretty obvious that they're going to do something where Alexa and Nikki have a falling out. So Nikki Cross comes out. She's hosting a Moment of Bliss. She says hi to San Antonio. She wants to thank everyone. She says she loves Alexa Bliss. She welcomes everyone to a special Moment of Bliss, and it's not good. She has a really thick Scottish accent. I didn't really notice. She thanks Bayley, and she, for coming on, says Bayley likes that Alexa's giving Nikki the spotlight. Nikki says Alexa is a lot more generous than Bayley thinks. She's kind of, mocking Alexa. Bayley says to Nikki that she won last week and you beat Carmella, and when Alexa and she asks why isn't she facing Nikki instead of Alexa. Nikki says she doesn't know, but she wants to know why she is not facing Bayley in the ring right now. And Bayley accepts the match. They go to the ring and they have a match. Not too long of a match. Bayley gets done, which was a big surprise. I get the feeling that they're going to put the title back on Alexa Bliss. They didn't do it the last pay-per-view, but I really think they're doing the next show. They're building up a long-term storyline with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They don't see Bayley as a top star, to be honest. I think they want to do something with Alexa to give her a big program because they love her, and I think they want to get Nikki Cross over as one of the top baby faces. So I think the program is going to probably be, it's going to drag out, might go to SummerSlam, could go for a long time. I remember 2 years ago it was going to be Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax at SummerSlam. They dragged it out to WrestleMania. I don't think it'll be dragged out for that long, but you never know. But I think that one of the big feuds is going to be Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's title against Nikki Cross. It's going to be one of their top feuds. Boring stuff. You have Ollie doing that cop commercial. I don't get it. I know he was in Chicago, and being a police officer in Chicago, man, your work's hard. You got shootings every 5 minutes there. It's just crazy the amount of violence that happens in Chicago. But it's just like, okay, I don't know. Can you tell us anything else? It's like, this is good for a guy who's about to debut. He's been on the main roster for about 6 months, 6, 7, 8 months actually. All right. So Kayla's in the ring, and she brings out Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe. They go back and forth. This is going to be one of the big matches at Extreme Rules. Joe's cutting a good promo, but he just doesn't come off as a guy who's going to get the push. Like, they've given him so many shots as champion. He's failed every time. It's hard for me to buy into Samoa Joe. Even though I like Samoa Joe, I've always been a fan of Samoa Joe for a while, going back to his independent days. I just don't buy that he's going to beat Kofi Kingston. I think they want to push Kofi heavily, and I don't see Kofi losing that title until SummerSlam. I think he'll probably lose at SummerSlam, but I really think he's keeping the belt. And the ratings are horrible, and no one wants to hold him accountable. I don't know why. I guess when you like a wrestler, you don't want to hold him accountable. I don't dislike Kofi. It's just, the ratings are horrible on SmackDown. They're bad on Raw too, but they're really shitty on SmackDown. He's got to be held to somewhat accountable for that. So they have Heavy Machinery being interviewed. I don't know. Was it Kayla again, or was it Sarah Scriber? I don't remember. They have so many of these checks, it's hard to remember exactly who it was, but it was pretty boring. Otis is a character. It is what it is. I think it's, the 3 teams at Extreme Rules. That'll probably be a good match. They show an update with Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. We see Bobby Lashley said Braun got what he deserved. It was not wrestling. He knocked him off the stage, but Braun knew that he was doing. He didn't care. Bobby says he's all beaten up and bruised, but Braun got the worst of it. And he's going to send Braun Strowman to the morgue next time. So, not PG. So up next, you have Andrade Almas with Zelina Vega going up against Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews is someone who would be best suited to leave the WWE right now. I know he had a child. He has a baby, a couple kids actually. So it might not be the best move ideally, mainly because of that, because of his family situation. And, he does want to raise kids and make a lot of money. It's just career-wise, I think Apollo Crews needs to leave. They're not going to push him. He's one of those guys. He has an amazing physique. It's just the biggest problem, as everyone knew it would be, is he's very short. He's just not a big guy. He has a great physique. He's jacked. Just in terms of height, he's not big. Like, he needs to be taller for Vince to ever push him. I think if he was taller, he'd get a push. It is what it is with Apollo Crews. Athletic guy. Doesn't have the height. He won't be pushed much. Almost I can see getting a push because I think they really want a top Latin star, especially with the move to Fox. They've always wanted that top Latin star, so Almas will get a push, but I'm not very optimistic about Cruz's future in this company. Horrible. I'm so tired. I don't want to see Dolph Ziggler anymore. It's not going to talk about it. They show Ember Moon in the back, and it's awkward. I don't know, her character's been really awkward. She meets up with Carmella, and they have an awkward exchange. Oh, another shitty promo with Aleister Black. I know the thing with Aleister Black, the big thing with the company, is they weren't featuring him on TV as much, and the big reason, I believe, was because with Aleister Black, this whole Saudi Arabia thing, he couldn't go because he has some religious tattoos or something. That was the main reason they weren't featuring him on TV, and I understood that. But now it's like, why? Okay, we've seen it. Like, we have him back on TV, let him wrestle, giving him nothing. So up next, you have Ember Moon against Mandy Rose. I don't know what they're doing with this whole lesbian thing with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They teased it heavily last week. And, it's Eric Bischoff, so it's HLA. The way Sonya touched Mandy's hair, she brushed her hair, and the way she looked at her. I'm sure she's wanted to do that to Mandy Rose in real life for many years. It's just, I don't know where they're going with it, but they didn't really tease it much here. This wasn't the big focus. Ember Moon hit an eclipse, and she pinned Mandy Rose. I'm sure they'll, do. We'll see. It's Eric Bischoff. Benjamin is backstage. I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. So next we have the main event, which is Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler against Otis and Tucker against and a winner gets added to the SmackDown Tag Team title match at Extreme Rules. This is stupid. I mean, it was, I say Kofi, it was Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. Why did I say Kofi? It was Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler against Otis and Tucker. So, that adds a triple threat tag team match. And you had the New Day and Daniel Bryan and Rowan all at the announce table. So this is your main event. It's been a standard show. It's like Raw was definitely the better show this week. SmackDown was just kind of was alright. Filler show. So your main event. It was a fun main event. Ziggler I don't want to see him on my TV ever again. Otis and Tucker get the win. They win, and so they get added to triple threat tag team title match for the SmackDown titles. Bryan and Rowan against Kofi and Xavier against Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. So after the match, Dolph Ziggler's up. He says something to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens hits him with a stunner, and then he says this is his show. So I think that's the end of Dolph Ziggler. I'll tell you right off the character, unless they're getting Dolph and KO at like Extreme Rules, which I don't think so. I think that's how they're going to write off Dolph Ziggler's character, and that's how it should be written off. So that was SmackDown. Not a bad show. I thought Raw was definitely the better show this week, but for the 2 nights in Texas, this is a better week than most weeks. I mean, things have been so bad. Everybody kind of needed a bit of a spark. I think they got it this week. Again, Raw, definitely the better show, but SmackDown wasn't too bad. So, not a bad week for WWE. Also, on the side note, 2 days is the 4th of July. Wish everyone a happy 4th of July week. Happy Independence Day. And I hope everyone enjoys it really well and spends it great. Spend it with your friends and your loved ones. Wishing you, everyone, a great Independence Day. Also, again, for Canada, wish you, everyone, happy 1st of July. It was yesterday, but it's a bit belated. Still wishing everyone a happy Canada Day as well. So, it's Independence Week, and one thing I did notice is we did not get a food fight this year. Every year, whenever it's the 4th of July week, we always get a food fight. We did not get one this year, so thank you, WWE, for that as well.